ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the next episode of this series. Well, in today's episode, I'm going to show you how you can rotate the player with your mouse position. And to do that, we do a little bit of ray casting, which is not the optimal way to do it. But for the next video where we are going to send a rotation to the server and the server rotates our player, it will be necessary and easier to understand for you. So I would say without further ado, we are going to start right away. So open up your client project and then open up your input manager. There you go. So what do we want to do? So basically what we want to do, as I already explained, is that we want to rotate the player, and so the player is facing always the position of the mouse, okay? For this video tutorial example using my networking system, I'm trying to do a top-down game. Which one, I don't know exactly, but this is just an example how to use and understand how the networking development is working. So you can do whatever you want with your project, but for the best example, I'm going to use a top-down example so you know what is going on exactly. So within our input manager, which is attached to our player, we want to create a new method. So within this method, we are going, or at least we're giving the method name, for example, private void check camera. Okay. Within this, we doing a little bit of ray casting. So we are going to say ray, camera ray equals to camera dot main dot screen point to ray, and we are using the vector 3 position of our input dot mouse position. Okay, so we are generating a way from our camera basically to the floor, so we know exactly which point we are pointing at, so the player can rotate perfectly around the mouse in a 3D world. So as next, we are going to create basically an invisible plane. So our ground, which will be standard by 0, 0, 0. So we're going to say plane, which is our ground plane, which is our point where our ray is going through, is equal to new plane. And we are going to say vector 3 dot up. And vector 3 dot 0. Perfect. Okay, then we are creating a flow, which will be our ray length. So now we are going to make an if statement. So if ground plane dot raycast, our ray will be our camera ray. So if those hit, okay, camera ray, comma, we want to see the distance between the camera and the ray itself. So we say out ray length. Okay, within this if statement, we are going to make a simple debug draw line, okay, to see what is going on. So we are typing in debug.draw line, and we want to draw our start point will be our camera ray dot origin, which will be our camera itself. And then we basically want to have a point to look at, okay? Our point to look at will be basically a vector 3 above our debug draw line. So we are going to say vector 3 point to look is equal to our camera ray dot get point and our ray length, which will be the distance between the camera and the ground plane itself. So now we can say camera ray origin, comma, our point to look at, and we want to have a ray color of, let's say, color.red, for example. So Before we are letting our player rotate, I want to give you a little bit of an example within the Unity itself. So let's wait till everything is compiled, start our server so we can log in and see what is going on. If you did set up the screen like I did, so you can see the scene editor in the game. If you don't, you have probably like this example. So drag and drop the game window out and put it on the right so you can see both windows to see what is going on. And make sure that you have activated gizmos on the editor, okay? So toggle it so it is visible. Okay, so let's hit play and let's see what happens. As you can see, well, basically nothing is happening. Because we didn't call. Oh, this is very bad. Very bad performance because we did not call our check camera anywhere. So to do that, we are going to make it in the fixed update. So let's go and void fixed update. And within our fixed update, we are going to call the check camera. Okay. So let's restart the server. Starting the server, go back to Unity, activate gizmos, and start the game. And now what you should see is basically a circle on your editor window. Okay, as you can see right there. So if you have positioned the camera on top of the player, you can see while you're moving on the right side of the screen, the mouse, you can see the ray where you are pointing at. So around this ray, the player should always rotate, okay? He should always face up this line, this red circle, or this basically red line you are circling to. He should always face it up. And to do that, we basically go back into the, well, let's close the game and the server. We go back into our input manager. And so the player can always face the line. We are going to say transform.lookAt, and then we are creating a new vector 3. And then we are saying point_to_look.x, point_to_look.y, and point_to_look.z. And that's it. That's everything you have to do. So your player should rotate basically around this way. So start the server again, go back to Unity. And now what should happen now when we are starting the game? Our player should always face up your mouse position, as you can see right there. You see on the left side, you are going to see the red line, and you always see, no matter what, how far the mouse is away, the player always looks at the mouse, which is necessary for our next video, where we are going to send the data, the rotational data, to the server. So when we are moving the player, okay, so when we are moving the player, he always, well, basically walks up in the line where we are facing at when you press W. I hope you liked this short video, and well, if you didn't like, well, still leave a comment, hit a like or a dislike. Well, better a like, not a dislike, right? Go check out my Discord channel. If you have any questions, check out my homepage. And yeah, thank you for watching, guys, in the next episode, where we are going to network everything what we did. So, see you in the next video. Bye.